What's going on, everybody? Welcome to your daily astrology horoscope for Friday, October 4th, 2024. Astrologer Brian Scarborough here, Fixed Air Moon, keeping the collective fixed on astrology. Appreciate you all. Happy Friday, everybody. Hope everybody's doing well. Eclipse energy, moon finishing up in Libra. It's coming into Scorpio for the majority of this weekend. So let's see what's up with Friday. Hope everybody's doing well. Venus Day. Got a moon in fall position in Scorpio and Venus on Venus Day in detriment in Scorpio. So it's intense. I mean, this weekend's kind of leading up to a lot of inner work. There could be moments of emotional turmoil, powerlessness. I would say invite some of these things in. To be honest, like right now, we kind of got to go deep and see where new things are heading, where we're supposed to be releasing. And sometimes we don't want to release. So sometimes things just get kind of like taken away by different outcomes in reality. It could be so many different things. But we're trying to find inner power here. And oftentimes it's through lack of power that we are able to dig deep and really find that fire, find that passion. And I think if one thing, about this weekend is that it's a passionate weekend. So we're getting a good look at like the things in life that are bringing quality into our life, that we're passionate about, that we're seeing like are meant to stay too. Because there's a lot of things that are meant to stay on the path for you, of course. And then we're also getting a really like deep, intensified look at what isn't really meant to stay. So it's a good black and white contrast sort of Friday. And it does bring high intensity. The moon's going to come into Scorpio. Right before that, in the morning, it's going to square Pluto and then come into fall. So it's like, I think we all have a lot of like deep emotional needs that we want to see get accomplished in life, and we want to, have certain things be long term. We're seeing Venus trine Saturn exactly today as well, and in that, this is pretty much the tightest we're going to see this grand trine today as well between Mars, Venus, and Saturn. So there's so many things to be emotionally like aware of right now. And there's things that, high passion, high intensity, and it's really good. And we want to like keep pushing for the things that bring really quality return into our life. And we want to be merging with energy in our realities that is bringing that sort of healthy relationship, the stuff that's empowering and showing us where, we can be better. We want to invite things like that in, but it can also be so intense and so kind of like that we can kind of miss out on some of the beauty of today, because there is like a beautiful energy because of the revitalizing, the revival energy that can kind of come through this, and seeing a lot of emotional satisfaction when we're being mature, when we're making good decisions for ourselves, and not holding on too tightly, but recognizing certain patterns, recognizing a lot of different things. But it has also that kind of Dark Knight sort of weekend vibe of like intense sort of inner understandings of ourselves, and we want to be present for that and not get too obsessed over anything. We have to be mindful of our own obsessions. And I think too, when we do get interesting desires that come in, we want to be aware of the desire and make sure that it's a desire that's bringing value to our life. Because if it's a desire that's actually self-undoing, or not actually bringing some more quality into our life, I think we want to be pretty aware of that desire too, because that's where we're like, that's probably the thing that actually needs to go too. So it's a very like, we need to be very emotionally intelligent, see the black and white, be able to understand things as best we can, as we're seeing Mercury start to square Mars. So like it's kind of getting louder too, and I think certain things that we're emotionally, we have a lot of desire for, or we're striving for, they can be loud. Connections, family, people, friends, relationships, lovers. I mean, there could be some big conversations, big things that need to be said, especially coming off this eclipse energy in Libra. Like, pay attention to how people are, talking to each other and how people are talking to you, and pay attention to how you're talking to others. I mean, I think you want to be pretty, reminds me of the four agreements. Almost said four elements. The four agreements, right? Like, be impeccable with your word. And I think we do want to be responsible with Mercury even in quincunx to Saturn. We really do want to be like impeccable. We don't want to say things we don't mean just to like get under someone's skin or to hurt somebody because maybe we're feeling hurt. We want to try and be careful with our own projections, and to be aware that the projection field's pretty high right now. Like people could be a little bit out for blood, and if you're getting sort of attacked by someone, like we want to try our best to not take things too personal right now, because you have to understand like people are going through a lot of inner things currently. There's a lot of inner workings as we're trying to figure out where the next chapter's turning. So we want to be aware that, we're all going through something somewhere in our life. And obviously some people are going to handle this in a better, way, in a more maybe spiritually mature way, and some people are not. And that doesn't make anybody a bad person, but it does give a good reflection of like, is that energy like a good, is that bringing more quality to our life, or is it taking from the quality of our life? And I think we want to be, aware of situations like that too, so that we can just try to invest in only the things that bring quality into our life. And I think there's an intense desire to do that, and I feel like we're going to feel these things very deeply today, on this Friday. So be aware of that, and keep on the lookout for truth. Jupiter and Chiron still in their sextile, and Jupiter's getting ready to go retrograde in 4.5 days. So next week Jupiter's going to go retrograde, so it's just sitting here with this nice sextile to Chiron. And I think there's just a lot of new information coming out right now that can really help us expand our minds, to see things more clearly, to understand our emotions better, to understand our visions better, and to understand ourselves better. And sometimes we have to like look at the things about ourselves that we don't want to look at, and sometimes we have to look at things with others that we don't want to look at. But ultimately, like, it's not really as much about others as we'd like it to be, even though it's a Libra eclipse, but it's with the South Node and Mercury and Lilith, and we want to be careful of like manipulating others and being manipulated and all these things, and really like hone in on our own journey and our own quality of life here, because it'll be really helpful when we do that. But yeah, intense Friday, lots of moving parts, and we're all feeling a lot of the in-between worlds right now, and feeling a lot of inner transformation, and it's a good thing, and it gives us a great opportunity to have revival energy come into our life and make more room for the things that we desire that are healthy and positive in our lives, and to be okay with throwing things out that are just not good for us. I stopped vaping. I threw all my vapes out. Another thing, coffee and now vapes. So I'm trying to work on my relationships too. Like, I'm not exempt from any of this, and I'm not perfect by any means either. Trust me on that one. But trying to identify and see better ways forward, and what's going to be healthier relationships in my life, and taking action and identifying these things, and not saying something or someone or put it on me, but the accountability for ourselves of like whether we got into a relationship or we started, vaping or whatever it is, that was on us, and it was a decision we made, and we got to make decisions to change when the time feels right too. And it's important to recognize that also. So, let's see what the card is for this Friday. Funny, the week I stopped vaping is the week that like my throat is all like messed up. And it's just like dry, like I'm not sick. Like I feel great, I have plenty of energy. My throat's just been dry, and it could be season change, it could be a lot of things, I have no idea. But it's definitely not ideal for like long periods of talking this week. Just gets like dry and scratchy all of a sudden. Maybe it's craving some of that juice. But no, it's not good for me anymore. All right, card is the Nine of Pentacles. in reverse. I'm sorry, not in reverse. This is the Nine of Pentacles upright. Great card. Definitely, about all the things that we can have and we can achieve and we can do in our life. And it's always one person with the Nine of Pentacles. It's always that like one woman. And I love that about the card because it does show this independent nature that we can get everything we want. And it's not that we need approval from other people or we need necessarily merger. Those things are great, but we have to really realize our own capacities right now and realize our the qualities that we want, and we'll link up with other energy that matches that always. But what are the things in life right now that are just better for you? And what, how do you kind of like put more, it's like double down on the things that are giving you the best quality in your life right now, and literally like cut out the stuff that is just not amplifying or bringing more quality to your life. And I think it comes back, it's all about you, and you got to get in that place where you feel powerful and empowered enough to make those choices so that you can feel very on top of your game and proud of yourself in many ways for the things that you're doing to be better. Just a little better. I love you all. Thank you so much for being here with me and watching these horoscopes, and I will see you all for the weekend forecast tomorrow. Much love. Peace.